Hey guys, it is I, Kuro Ninja, and today I'm going to be talking about Ryusoulger. Now this is only the second video I made about Ryusoulger, and the last time I made a video about Ryusoulger was when it was only 19 episodes in. But now, Ryusoulger is almost over, so I decided to rank all the Druidons from worst to best. Before we begin, I need to give a disclaimer. I'm only going to be ranking the Druidons, so Gaisorg won't be ranked. Second of all, this is only my opinion. Anyway, let's begin. At the very bottom of my list is Tank Joe, the very first Druidon that the Ryusoulgers face. The reason why Tank Joe is the worst Druidon general is very obvious. He's meant to be a starter villain. The only thing that's interesting about Tank Joe is that he killed the Red Ranger's master, but he only lasted for 6 episodes. He got revived in episode 21 to episode 22, but other than that, he's one of the more forgettable Druidons in the series. Gondo G is basically the same as Tank Joe, but he looks cooler. Yabba Sword appeared at the end of Ryusoulger, so we don't know much about him. What makes him different from Tank Joe and Gondo G is that he did something that caught my attention. One episode after being introduced, Yabba Sword went berserk and attacked the Druidon, but that's the only thing that Yabba Sword did. When Reyes made his first appearance, he was one of the most forgettable Druidons in the series, and his only purpose was to make Kishiryu Neptune look strong. His second run, however, is way better than the first one. When he returned from getting launched into space, that was when the season was starting to become more serious. And then we got less filler. Reyes is also the only Druidon general in the entire season who hosts a Minosaur. I didn't really think that Sodom would be that interesting, especially since he's just a recolor of Budhan, and I was also planning on putting him on a lower spot on the list. But that was before the episode with his plot twist. When the Ryusoulgers run into Sodom, it turns out that Sodom was dead the whole time, and the Sodom that they're fighting now was Master Black the whole time. Eris is the creator of the Druidon and the final boss that the Ryusoulgers face. She's also very powerful, and she reminds me of the other main villains in the Dinosaur Sentai seasons. However, there's a plot twist with Eris. Unlike the other villains in the Dinosaur Sentai seasons, Eris isn't trying to destroy the Earth or take it over. Eris is fighting the Ryusoulgers for the opposite reason, to protect the Earth. She just doesn't understand the concept of good that much due to being a primordial entity. This doesn't really make Eris more interesting than the Druidons I will talk about later on this list, but it makes her stand out from the leaders of the villains from the other Dinosaur Sentai seasons. Budhan only appeared in 1 episode. So why is he so high on the list? Well, the reason why is because before Budhan made his only appearance, I never really saw the Druidon as a threat to the Ryusoulgers. The Ryusoulgers were more focused on fighting against Gaisorg at the start of the second half, while Crayon and Wisel were making Minosaurs that the Ryusoulgers defeated easily. But that all changed when Budhan showed up. Even though Budhan only appears in 1 episode, he leaves a big impact for the rest of the series, and the Ryusoulgers get a new power-up during their fight against him. Unfortunately, that power-up ends up with the Red Ranger. This was a really hard choice for me to make because Wisel, or Wisru, depending on your pronunciation, is one of my favorite villains that the Ryusoulgers face. He also has the most appearances out of every Druidon general, but I decided to put him at number 3 because he appeared in most of the filler episodes, and after Reyes appeared, he wasn't really that effective as a major villain anymore. I was originally gonna put Wisel ahead of Precious for this list, but then I decided not to, because unlike Wisel, Precious furthered the main plot and also finished what Budhan had started in making the Druidons a much more dangerous force. Before Precious returned from space, the Druidon generals were competing against each other to conquer the Earth, specifically Wisel and Reyes. But then Precious forced them under his control by doing what Lupin Yellow did to me, but literally. When Precious showed up, the second half of Ryusoulger started to get way better than the first half. Okay, so you might be wondering why Crayon is at number 1. I know a lot of people disagree with the fact that I put Crayon at number 1, especially since he's technically not a Druidon. Even though Crayon isn't part of the Druidon species, Crayon is still the most important member of the Druidon tribe. Crayon appears in almost every episode of Ryusoulger and is responsible for creating most of the Minosaurs. Not all of them, though. Not only that, but Crayon's interactions with the different Druidon generals help you understand their personalities better. Anyway, that is all for this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and remember, I have nothing to do with Shiro Ninja.